Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my Jay Bird. This is remembering 1976 and 1977 when I first learned how to play chess. Uh, Created my own opening, my own theory, and short, long lived back then. And I haven't played in years after that, back then, after 77, and up till a couple games up to 2010. And then it was about 6 month, 8 month, whatever it was. And then I'm back into it now again. And I'm still the same way I play and what I do and play the game. Now, I'm in white, and this is called Nightbird Tower to bot 2,000. No errors, no assistance, no help of any kind to beat this bot. And this is game 23. And let's get down to it. With a b3, e5, b2, c6, d4. And this game's totally different. This telling me right now the way I'm acting like this and playing this because I want to trade these pieces right away. It's been hard to play and beat, so I could tell you right now this is what's happening here. After d4 takes d4, takes d4, takes d4, takes d4, runs out like that right away. It's like, okay, f6, take f6, because this is all how aggressive it wants to be anyway. So I decide to be like that, and then this is what happens. All right, after that, d2, d5, e3, c6, d3, d6. Let's see what happens. I go h3, he castles. I go f3. Now, I could have castled this way, but I didn't like it. He had this black bishop, and I didn't like it because of the black bishop like that. I prefer to go the other way. After f3, d7, castle, e8, and d1, and there's your Nightbird Tower. 13 moves. Now, I could have castled and went in the tower, but I didn't, like I said, I didn't like that open like that, and he had a dark bishop. I preferred this way. Okay, after d1, he goes h6, I go c4. This is where he makes his mistake, or you could call it a blunder, but there's got to be a mistake before the blunder. So if there's a blunder, there's one mistake and one blunder, if there's a blunder. But to me, that's what you have to have, a mistake to have the blunder. So it don't make any sense. You can't tell me any other way. They say, well, no, there's a blunder's a blunder. No, well, no, a blunder would be long as it don't affect you losing the game. You see what I'm saying? You could have blunders all day long as everything falls in place. Like, even if he had perfect moves from there on out and you had perfect moves and you could have 10 blunders, it didn't mean anything because it wasn't going to cost you the game anyhow. That's the difference. So there has to be a mistake and a blunder. If there's a blunder, it has to be a mistake and a blunder. Anyway, after c4, he goes e4. So that's a mistake. He's going to go down a pawn. The mistake leads to the blunder because after e4, I take d5. He takes d5. Now, when exactly it occurred, I think it was at the night. But anyway, after e4 takes, d4 takes, e4 takes e4, takes d6. Count the pawns. 4, 6, 3, 5. He's down a pawn. So there was one mistake, which I think was that night. And then as it went down, the blunder fell upon this. So now after that, b5, c1. He goes e6. Now I don't understand that. Why would you set yourself up to pull another pawn island? After that, I take e6, he takes e6. Now you just create another pawn island. I can't believe he's trying to do it for the center because now he's losing. This is a losing position already right now. It's worse. Now it's guaranteed it's losing. After e6, d4. And he did it again. Nope, I take c6. He takes c6. Now he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 islands. And 5 pawns, I got 6 yet. After that, c6 takes. Now, so there was another mistake and another blunder. Because now I go another pawn. So he made 2 mistakes and 2 blunders, as far as I'm concerned. Maybe 3 mistakes, because he shouldn't even put the well, no, maybe that was the mistake by putting the rook there to get that like that. But anyway, after c6, f7, a6, f6, g3, f5, g2, f6, a3, b8, b4, b7, a5, d7, a4, b7, b5, c7, c5. Yeah, of course I want to trade, because if he starts taking, I'll just run this king up here and start gobbling everything up. And then I don't think he has enough time to, he can't, how's he going to protect the pawns? And then he's got to stop. He's got to come over here and get rid of this one. He'll be too late. After d7, b5, e7, a5, d6, c6 check, d5, f3, g5, e4, e5, b6, takes b6, takes b6, d2, f1, a2, a6, a5, check b5, d4, takes g5, e3, f4. Now, he has to get the checkmate or be a draw. He could end up drawing this. But let's see where he goes after this. He goes f4. Well, of course, I got to get out with e1. And then he could walk me all the way across like this, and he's going to... we'll come back to this. We'll see what he could do if I walked across. Or maybe just be back and forth. It'd be a draw. After e1, h4, takes h4, takes a6, f5, takes e4, f6, and I saw that no matter what he would have done there, even if he would have took it, I still could have straddled these pawns all the way down. After f6, a7, g7, a1, d2, f1, f7, f2, e1, f3, h5, e3, h6, e4, h7, e3, d1, d3, c2, h3, queen f8. Game's over, he knows it. Takes h7, takes h7, e5, b4, f5, e1, e4, e7, e3, takes e3, g6, e6, g7, a6, g8, a7, f8, c5, g8, and that's game. Let's go back. Let's just go back to the point. Well, we'll go over the whole thing, but to show you a quickie, instead of... Okay, this, okay, everybody's even here. All right, so it goes like that. Now, he goes here. Well, instead of going there, I don't get it. He just could have went like this. And now, okay, I go with the knight. Now I threaten that. Okay, how many pawns? 6, 4, 6. Now he just say he moves a bishop here. I'm just picking a move. I'm not saying it's a perfect move. Now the game will continue on. Now it's my move. Now we play the game. You see what I'm saying? But it didn't happen that way. Then, obviously, I think in this position, there's no mistake if he would have went that way. But he went there with the knight. See, he went there. Then I took that pawn. And he took. Now, let's say he would have went the other way. instead of this, let's say he would have went here first. Well, I guess I got to take this. Then, let's say he wants to get his pawn. Okay, how many pawns we got now? 4, 6, 3, 6. But now he's got an isolated pawn, 2-0 now. So either way, he was better off taking the pawn and not going this way. I mean, I don't see no hidden. Now that pawn's, he's got to defend that pawn the whole time. But okay, but let's go back. That didn't happen that way. It went like this, just like this. The mistake and the blunder right in here. Then that's another mistake. Why? I don't know why you would do that, because now you fork everything, and then he goes here. Well, if anything, you would have went here, but then I guess I could have run my rook here too. So somewhere along the line, this has to be another mistake. See, one mistake and blunder leads to another here. And the game went like this. I believe I did all these moves right. I wanted to trade. We ain't got all day to show you what happens if we would have took that, but then I guarantee you, running these king and pawns right, I'd have it. He goes here, I go there. Game goes like this. I take. Now he goes here. And I go. He goes here, I get out. See, but let's say when I went here, he goes here. Instead of here, let's say he would say, check. Well, I go here. Check. You see, it's going to be a draw. And then no matter what, if he goes over here, then I have to go here. He says, check, I'll come out. So, yeah, all right. So there's nothing there. This is how it went, like this. I moved over anyway. Then I took. And the game went on like this. And I think no matter what he does, see, when I went like this, he goes up and down. It would be the same thing again. Let's say, all right, let's say before he even does it, I go like this, he goes like this. Instead of him, all right, yeah, all right, he goes like this, I go like this. Let's say he's trying to, then I have to make some good moves here. Go like this. So if he went like this, I got to try to, let's say if I take it like this, now he's going to try to mate me, right? Well, I'd walk this way. And then he's still trying to make me and walk this way. Because he can't say check yet, and I go like this. So what's going to happen here? Nothing. What's going to happen? He can't do anything. All right, he goes back the other way. Well, then I could go like this. Now what? You see? All right, so that ain't going to work. All right, let's take it back. Let's take it back to where it was. It went like this. Okay, it's just in the beginning he made them mistakes, the blunders. And there, I understand that. There's nothing he can do after all that. Okay, there you have it. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll have some more 76 into 77.